Hi there everybody, and welcome back to my channel. And as you can see, today's project is a cheery little smiley face. Now this is a very simple project, just worked up in 3 rounds, and then I've just embroidered a face on the front. Now these are very versatile. You can use them as appliques to add to clothing, hats, scarves, maybe add them to pockets. I've just made up this cute little wall hanging here. You could add a felt circle to the back, maybe add a brooch back, turn them into badges. You could also, between those layers at the back, add a tab, and I've turned this one into a keyring. The possibilities are endless, so just grab some oddments of yarn and let's get going. For this example, I'm just going to be using a DK weight yarn in the colour that I want my face. I'm going to add some black here to embroider the face. You don't have to use black, it's just you will need to have something darker than your main colour so that the face shows up nicely. I want my stitches to be slightly tighter, so I've gone down hook size from a normal DK weight yarn hook. I'm using a 3.5. This is also a E hook. You're going to need a darning needle, so a needle with a large eye there to embroider your face, and a pair of scissors for your ends. So we're going to start off by using the magic circle or magic ring, whatever you like to call it. This is how I do mine. You obviously can start your magic circle off however you normally do. I have my tail end at the front. I wrap around those 2 fingers. Then I'm crossing my yarn over. I go under with my hook, grab my yarn, pull through, gently remove my fingers, make sure I have hold of my working yarn, not my tail. I'm literally just going to chain to secure. Now if you really do find the magic circle confusing, you could always just chain 4 and then join to make a circle. I know this is the magic ring because when I pull on that original tail end, that circle closes up nicely. So starting round 1, I'm going to chain 1 more. So in effect, I've chained 2. Now this is to give me some height. I'm not going to count this as a stitch. I'm going to be working in the magic circle here. I'm going to be putting in 12 UK trebles. So that is 12 US doubles. So as a recap, a UK treble is yarn over first, push through that circle, grab the yarn, pull through. I have 3 loops on my hook. Grab the yarn, pull through 2, grab the yarn, pull through 2. So that's 1 UK treble. So just again, that's a US double. I need to put a further 12 in that circle. So all the stitches when we work in the round go in that circle to start with. 3, 4, 5 and 6. So carry on around. I'm going to put a further 6 in. Remember, I don't count my chain 2 up as a stitch. I'll meet you here to join, and you should have 12 stitches. 7. I put in my 12 stitches. Now before I join, I just want to pull on that tail end, and as you can see, that closes that center circle up nice and tightly. You can just double check back that you've got 12, just check those V's on the top of the stitches. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So again, ignoring that chain 2 up, I'm going to join by using a slip stitch. So I'm going to go under the top of that stitch, grab my yarn, pull through, and the one that's on your hook, and that's the end of round 1. To start round 2, again, I'm going to chain 2 up. This is just to give me some height. I'm not going to count that as a stitch. In that same stitch, I'm going to be putting in 2 trebles. So that's 1, 2, that's all in that same stitch. I'm going to move to my next stitch. I'm going to put in 2 trebles. So when we put 2 trebles in a stitch, we call that an increase. So moving to the next stitch, I'm going to increase by putting in 2 trebles. Oops. I'm going to increase in each stitch going all the way around. When we come back, we should have 24 stitches. So just carry on, increase in every stitch going around round 2. Oops. So I've just double checked, I have 24 stitches. I'm going to slip stitch to join, ignoring that chain 2 up. In that first stitch, I'm just going to slip stitch. Now we're going to do one more round. Again, chain 2 up. In the first stitch, I'm just going to put in 1 treble. Okay, in my next stitch, I'm going to increase, so that's 2 trebles. 1 and 2. In the next stitch, I'm going to put 1 treble. In the next stitch, I'm going to increase, so that's 2. So you can see how this is going to work now. Going around round 3, I'm going to put 1 stitch, increase, 1 stitch, increase, all the way around. I will meet you here to join. At the end of round 3, you should have 36 stitches. So I'm just finishing by putting 2 trebles in that last stitch. Now, just as a tip, when you're increasing, if you start the round with a single and then you're doing your increase, you should end with an increase. So I'm going to ignore that chain 2 up. And then what I want to do is either slip stitch to join, like we did before, and then fasten off. But what I am going to show you, a little trick that I have to make a neater join. So I'm not going to slip stitch, I'm just going to leave my hook in for the moment. I'm going to cut off an end, there we go. I'm just going to pull that yarn through, threading up my darning needle. This is just an alternative join. I'm ignoring the chain 2. I'm going under with my darning needle from front to back, both of those loops. Pull that end through before I pull that too tightly. Can you see on this last stitch we have the V, the top of the stitch? I literally want to take my yarn and go through under the back loop only. From front to back, I'm taking that yarn through, and as you see, as I tighten, you can see that this forms a nice V. So it's copying the tops of our stitches going around, and then you can see you have a lovely neat join. Now I'm going to turn my work over. Using the back of these stitches, I'm going to work my way down to the center. Don't pull this too tight as you go down. You just want to keep those stitches all looking nice and even. Now, isn't that neat? Looks better than a knot at the top. Okay, I'm going to go down to the center. And I'm just going to knot my two ends together. Depending on what you're using this for, you could weave in your tail ends. I'm literally just going to snip mine off. So there we have our 3 rounds of crochet ready to embroider our face. So I'm just going to be using this one as a guide. There's no real rules on this. You're just going to put your stitches in until you're happy. I'm going to use that 1-2 ridge out between our rounds as a guide for my smile. So let's choose about there. Okay, and you can see here, 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 it just sort of forms a natural stitch line. So I'm going to leave a tail. I'm not going to pull my yarn all the way through. I'm just going to knot this off to secure. So as you can see, my next stitch is going to be here. I'm going to go down. Finding the next hole here, I'm going to come up, and we're just going to go one way using a running stitch. Then we're going to go back on ourselves using another running stitch. Okay, so we're just going to, oops, don't pull it too tight. I'm not very good at saying on camera. Just using those holes going around as a guide. We're going to go one way. Okay, so if I just hold this, I'm going to end about here. Okay, so keep going around. Okay, so I'm quite happy with that smile. It will look better when we go back on ourselves. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to come up. I want to make a line at the top of our smile. So just one stitch like that one. Okay, so I'm going to come up. And I'm going to go across. Again, don't pull too tightly. And now you can see we're just going to go back on ourselves. Okay, so I'm going to come up. And then go down to fill in that space. Working back on ourselves. Now, cleverly, I've just deleted the film of me doing this. So I worked back on myself, remembering to finish by putting that little line across in the same way. I have literally just knotted my ends off because I'm going to back this with some felt. We just need to add the eyes. So this time I've doubled up my yarn just to make those eyes a little bit thicker, following around the ridge that we did our smile on. We just want to come through. Again, not taking those ends all the way through. We just want to go down in a line. Okay, so just pulling those through, and you can see that's a little bit thicker. Moving across, maybe here. Obviously, you can just play around with this and get them exactly how you want them. Again, going down, so about there. Pulling them through. And there you have a fabulous smiley face. So again, I'm just going to tie off my ends on the back. And there you have another cute smiley face. Now, if you did enjoy this tutorial, if it's cheered you up today, then please do give me a thumbs up. Leave me some comments down below. What are you going to be doing with your smiley faces? Make sure you're subscribed, and I will see you here next time. Bye-bye.